Welcome back to the Altcoin Hunts. I got a good one today. We are finally switching out the weeks of meme coin garbage for a project that refreshingly is super interesting, in my opinion, and has a working product. Who would have thought that that's a possible thing these days? We're going to dig into it. It's called Velvet. It's a 16 million market cap DEFAI, so DeFi AI token with AI ambition like everyone else, backed by 3.7 million in funding from Binance Labs, Gate Labs, and more. So it's got some actual money behind it. It's a slick, no custody DeFi OS, a lot of buzzwords there, with multi-agent intent routing, staking, and VE tokenomics. But is it real or just kind of hype dressed up in tech jargon? We're going to dive into that. Buckle up. This one's going to be good. I'm excited for this. Right off the bat, this is their actual app, and it looks really sleek. I've done some testing with this and have taken a look at it, and I was impressed. This is their actual website. This is kind of where you land. It gives you kind of the marketing slop, the pitch for it, and it's clean. I really can't say much about it, or much bad about it, I guess. We can jump right in to the narrative and vision. We'll start off as we always do. So it pitches as the DeFi whatever operating system, an AI-powered trade terminal with smart vaults, gasless intent, routing, and MEV protection. There is a white paper, so congrats on that. Where the hell is it? I know I had it somewhere. Here we go. Yeah, so it's just these docs. This is their white paper. It kind of gives you an overview of all the stuff that they offer, including the tokenomics, and they have a dev portal for it as well. There is a product roadmap. But what I like the most is they actually shipped a product. They have a GitHub. You can actually take a look at the code and what they're doing. It is being updated. You can see 4 hours ago, 3 days ago, 5 days ago. They're actively working on this, which is a great sign. This isn't vaporware. This is a legit product. Their roadmap does spell out what they're working on and sort of what they're guiding towards, but this is still buzz heavy, right? And execution and adoption, more importantly, has to follow for this to be a success. For that reason, in summary, there's an audited OS, which is great. There's a live GitHub. There's a clear roadmap. The wave of DeFi AI stuff is hot. There's a lot of companies trying to do this, but it's easy to hype and then flop, right? That would be my one negative. There's a solid product, but the hype won't trade itself. It needs activity. It needs users. But we're going to give it a score, and I gave it a strong one, 15 out of 20 for the narrative and vision. I'll even show they have this slick Velvet Unicorn AI, which, I asked it a question. It gave me an answer. We can ask it something here. The one thing I noticed is it is kind of slow. It might take some time to give you sort of the response, but it does eventually answer you. Well, we'll see if that actually works. Anyway, let's move on to the tokenomics and supply. It did work. Byte is the standout token. We take a look at it really quick. I mean, the UI is slick, right? They did a good job, and yeah, it makes sense why this is hot right now because it pumped, it doubled, I guess. Cool. Anyway, for tokenomics and supply, we can take a look really quick. Their market cap is still in like meme coin levels, which is kind of insane. 15 million market cap, volume almost triple that at 50 million. This did just release on the 10th of July, so a couple of days ago as of this recording, and they did have $3.7 million in funding across a bunch of rounds and a Binance wallet sale. It does lock up tokens for 1 to 4 years with redemption tied to staking and governance. Lockups show vesting cliffs up to 4 years, which gives it a good long-term alignment, right? There's 1 billion total supply, and there's 250-ish circulating. So yeah, the volume's there. The launch was good. We'll see if the hype can continue. For the tokenomics and supply, I guess the alpha summary would be that there's strong vesting. There's a long lockup, which is really good. It aligns the holders, but the FDV is steep versus the market cap, and the unlock schedule could cause sell pressure, right? So two things to look out for. But I still gave this another strong score. We gave it a 16 out of 20 for tokenomics and supply. I was kind of impressed, I gotta say. Maybe it's just because of all the crap, absolute degenerate garbage I've been reviewing, but I might have to temper my expectations myself. But so far, so good. I mean, you don't create something like this in a weekend, right? This takes time and obviously a lot of skill and money, which they do have the backing for. So for tech and execution, we'll move on to the third category. The tech stack obviously hits hard. There's a live AI OS with smart execution. The Vault UI is cool. Multi-chain talk, the unicorn thing is great. You know, it says GM to you. So GM to all you degens out there. You know, it's on BNB, but it does support Base, ETH. There's been 7 audits. There's a bug bounty, which is a really positive sign that basically says we mean business. GitHub activity, you know, it's moderate, but it's active. It's not open source node level yet. It looks real, right? But the developer activity's got to keep up. It's got to keep scaling. So there's live features, there's audits in place, all good things. GitHub transparency is good, but the code base is not fully open. It's still early, right? This just launched, still early. It needs user growth. So for that reason, tech and execution, I gave it a 14 out of 20. And we can move on to the market structure and liquidity. Again, there is 1 billion total supply with 248 million circulating at 6 cents. You know, the volume is not too shabby. Obviously, 50 million, 340% of the market cap. It's listed on a bunch of places: Uniswap, MEXC, Pancake. You know, Pancake's got most of the volume, but some of these others do as well. So there's multi-sex exposure, right? There are some centralized exchanges hosting this. The good volume to cap ratio is a good sign. But again, early whales could spike and exit. That's the case with all these new releases. And again, the market cap is still in meme coin territory. So keep that in mind. Market structure and liquidity, I gave it a solid 13 out of 20. I don't really have too many complaints with this, but I can't give it a near perfect score just yet. Exit risk and VC stakes. So there's 3.7 million in VC funding. Binance backing makes it, serious. There's cliff vesting for team and advisors. I actually don't know. Do we know who's on the team here? Maybe under contact? No, that just links to an email. Great. No thanks. There's a blog. I don't know if they show the actual team. No, I don't think so. Anyway, whatever. The team's the team. I'm sure you can maybe find them sort of on Twitter around here. They have 145,000 followers. They get pretty decent engagement. They're hosting sessions where you can chat with them and stuff. All good things, right? So for exit risk and VC stakes, there's a long vesting runway and there's strong institutional backing. So for that reason, I gave it a 17 out of 20, which comes to my final score, which is one of the highest I've given so far, a 75 out of 100. This is a conviction play. Velvet is legit. This is a DeFi AI infrastructure project with investor heat, with live tech, thoughtful tokenomics. It's not a meme coin. It's infrastructure with some teeth. The UX looks clean. The site looks clean. There's obviously serious backers in this. I'm excited to see where this goes. I will keep an eye on this for sure. It'll go on my watch list. It's not a moon promise. It's a moon proposal, basically, at this point. If they build it, traders and DAOs, they might come, and this might blow up. And at 5 cents, according to what the market cap is today, who knows where this could actually go if they're successful, if being the key word there. And that's it. That's my review for this. A breath of fresh air from everything I've been looking at recently. So I hope you enjoyed this. And if you did, as always, a subscribe would really help my tiny channel. So if you like this video, hit that button. I'd appreciate it. And as always, thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.